Welcome to class today. Fabulous pose that we're going over, Kamatkarasana, or most commonly referred to as wild thing. So the first time I saw this in a class, my jaw seriously dropped and I was like, I'm gonna have to be in Cirque du Soleil or some sort of contortionist to be able to do this one. But honestly, once you build up enough arm strength and with the right teacher, then you should be good to get into this pose. So let's look at it here. Starting, the most common way that I teach it and that I see it taught is from down dog into plank. And then from here, you just kind of roll to your side plank, all right? With your feet stacked on top of each other, you then just take that top foot and find the balance behind you. So my right foot is lifted off, then my right toes come down. From here, you really press into your hips, so lift your hips and look back at those right fingertips. Okay, that's full pose. Now going over some modifications for this. Let's see, the first modification I would recommend would be to lift right leg up into your three-legged dog and just kind of open and close the hips. So we're just feeling that sense of opening, and you can kind of even play with making those right fingertips light and just kind of play with that balance about right here, okay? First modification. Another really good modification, honestly, is gate pose. So if teacher cues wild thing, you just come down to your knees, keep that left knee down, kind of take it off the mat, bring your right foot back behind you. And this is a great modification for wild thing. You're not getting the back bend as much, but you're getting this nice side body stretch and feeling the balance through your arm. One more modification that I see that I like is coming in from here, from down dog, rolling to the side, lifting into that side plank, lifting leg back behind you, and then from here just coming all the way down to a seated position, kind of recentering yourself and then pressing up into the back bend. Okay, so we'll play around with all of these today. It's going to be an awesome class. So let's come down to our knees and just take a moment, connect with the breath right here. So knees, if this is uncomfortable in any way, a rolled up blanket underneath your knees or tucked toes, kind of nice. Just connecting with the breath in a different position today. So just hands on your lap and just begin to notice your inhales and your exhales, changing position if you need to be a little more comfortable. My toes don't like to stay tucked as long as they used to, so. Let's take 2 or 3 more breaths here together. Big long inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentle twist. I'm just facing back towards the camera. Right hand grabs around the left leg. Left arm reaches up and over. Inhale, exhale. Kind of feel that left hip kick out just a little bit. Left fingertips reaching over. And release that side. Left hand comes across your body to your right outer thigh. Inhale, right arm lifts. And exhale, right arm reaches up and over. Maybe gazing at those fingertips. If your neck's tender, just look right in front of you. One more breath here. From here, we'll practice that gate pose modification. So just coming to your knees. You're fine to stay at the short end of your mat with your feet off. I'm just modeling for the camera. So my left leg is coming out. And then from here, right hand to the right side, shoulder over wrist. Left arm lifts. Now you can hold here or maybe press those hips forward. I like to come up to my fingertips a little bit and reach that left arm overhead. Okay, one more breath here. Let's come into a high gate. So come on up, slide that left hand down, left leg, right arm reaches up and over. And slowly come into second side. Bring your hands down, knees together, take the right foot out, toes pointing forward, then bring left arm in just a little bit, shoulder over wrist here, and lift into your gate pose right here. Or you might press hips a little more forward, extending that right arm over your ear. Find your breath here. One more breath. And let's slowly lift up. Right hand slides down, right leg. Left arm reaches up and over. Take another breath here. And we'll slowly release, making our way hands to the top of the mat. Find your plank pose. All right, and lift up into your downward facing dog. Let's pedal feet out. Taking another modification for that pose right off the bat here today. Let's lift your right leg up, rise to your left tiptoes, and then just kind of bend that right knee, open up the hip, look under your right arm, maybe roll the ankle around. And slowly bring right foot back down. Lift and extend left leg up. Open up your hips, bend left knee. Look under left arm. And bring your left foot down. Find your downward facing dog. Let's roll forward into plank now. Shoulders over wrists. Come in chaturanga. Drop forward just a little bit. Bend your elbows. Now remember, if your pelvis leads here, that's your cue to put your knees down. I recommend knees down for the first few push-ups anyways. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Press and lift. We'll take a down dog twist here. As an option, bring your feet about hip distance apart, a little more than. Rise to your tiptoes. Heels drop down to the right, look under the left. And back to tiptoes. And heels drop down to the left, look under the right. And back to high tiptoes. Heels drop down to the mat. No big deal if they don't touch. Bend your knees, look up at your hands. Step, walk, or hop your feet up to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Option for another down dog twist here. So I'm just deeply bending my right knee, angling it over to the left, and then pressing back through those arms. Getting like a lower part of the back here. Alternate sides, deep bend in your left knee, angle it over to the right, press back. And back to your regular downward facing dog. Let's look up at our hands. Step your right foot up, followed by your left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand. And exhale, hands to your heart. Let's take one more vinyasa. Inhale, arms up. Really lift, lengthen up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back, left then right. Plank, chaturanga, knees or toes. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Taking another modification again. So if you want to, just hold this down dog right where you're at. It's a great pose. If you'd like a little bit more, three-legged dog. Right leg lifts and extend, bend the right knee, open up the hip. Pretend that those right toes can touch around to your head. And then back down with the right, lift the left. Breathe here. And then bend left knee, open up the hip. And toes reach around as if they could touch your head. Left down, back to downward facing dog. Step walk or hop your feet up to your hands, maybe left foot coming up, followed by right. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, stand. And exhale, hands to your heart. Take a breath here. All right, coming into side angle pose next. We'll bring our right foot back behind us, a really big distance. Bend your left knee, okay? Shoulders tracking over hips here. Then bring your left forearm down to your left thigh, right arm by your ear. Gazing up over the right fingertips. Then you might hold here, or you might go a little bit deeper. Left hand to the inside of left foot, elbow pressing into knee, knee pressing into elbow. One more breath here. Let's slowly float on up. Bring that left foot parallel to mat edge. So both feet are parallel to the mat edge. Inhale and exhale. Just slide your hands down your legs, folding forward, long spine, maybe reaching all the way to the floor. No big deal if you don't reach the floor. You can grab your block in or just gently grab the outside of your legs, your yoga pants. Just find a couple breaths here. Okay, let's plant our right foot down, our right hand down right in front of face. Lift your left arm up, twist and extend. Maybe looking up at the left fingertips. And slowly switch sides. Left hand down, lift and extend right arm up. One more breath here. And slowly lower both hands down. Slight bend in the knees as you slowly roll up back to your standing pose. Let's take right toes to the back of the mat. Bend your right knee. Right forearm, so shoulders squared up over hips here. Right forearm down to right thigh, left arm by your ear. An extended side angle here, full pose, gazing at the left fingertips. Maybe lowering in with the right hand in front of right foot. Press that knee in, press arm back in. Really locked in here. One more breath. And slowly lifting back up, taking another wide angle fold. So both feet parallel to mat edge. Find a bind. If this bind is hard to bind your fingertips and lift through your chest, grab your strap in. I'll model with a strap. Inhale. Shoulder blades come together, belly in, and exhale, fold. Take a couple breaths. And slowly begin to come out of this. Set your strap to the side if you used it, and we'll find a vinyasa. Just bringing your hands to the top of the mat. Step back into plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. All right. Coming all the way to our bellies now. So come through plank. Bow pose is a prep pose for wild thing, okay? So coming into bow pose, if you're following these classes sequentially, we just worked on this one. Arms back behind you, bend your knees. See if we've got a bind here. Knees together, belly drawing in. Inhale and exhale. Lift head and neck, lift knees. Press feet or ankles into hands and breathe. Good job. One more breath. And exhale, come down, find child's pose. Hands right by your ribs. Press back. And you've got a couple breaths here, just rest. Let go of any thoughts that are happening, like, oh, I don't know if this was the right class for me today. I don't know if this is too hard or I'm bored, whatever it is, just let go of it. Just stay with the breath for another breath or so. All right, coming in now to a seated forward fold. We'll just walk our knees forward. Some of us might like to have a strap handy here. Strap around the ball or arch area of your feet. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Okay, you've got a couple breaths here. Last breath. Deepening the pose on the exhales. And slowly releasing that pose, setting your strap to the side. Upward plank, bringing your hands back behind you, fingertips pointing toward your glutes. So let's take a one-leg version of this. So I'm bending my right knee, planting that right foot, pointing left toes. Inhale, shoulder blades are gently coming together. Exhale, lift those hips. Okay, another good prep pose for Wild Thing. Just feel that hips lift, press forward, and exhale, slowly come down. Release some tension out of your wrists maybe, and we'll get ready for second side, bending left knee. Hands back behind you for support. Inhale, shoulder blades gently drawing together, chest lifted. And exhale, press and lift, hips lift, toe points. One more breath here. And I think one more. That's so mean, I hate it when teachers do that. Exhale, come on down, little forward fold. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, exhale, fold. Let's slowly release this pose, finding our way to our last vinyasa of class. So you might draw your knees in toward you, and then roll over. If not that, roll out to the side, find plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Couple of breaths here. Releasing some tension in head and neck if you need to, side to side. And we'll take camel pose now. Another great prep pose for our Wild Thing, which is up next. So if you need to double up your mat, go ahead. Camel pose, hands on your lower back for support, toes tucked. Take modifications if you need to. Again, elbows squeezing together, chest really lifted. Inhale and exhale. Press those hips forward, forward, forward. You might lean back a little bit. I'm learning this is best for me. Heels of hands, grab heels, lift chest and sternum forward. I'm not releasing head and neck today. If you were going to do that, you want to do that first. Okay? Take another breath here. And exhale. Hands on your lower back for support. And take child's pose. Walking those hands out to the top of the mat, forehead down. Okay, let's give our pose a try, our Wild Thing. So we've gone through a couple modifications, the gate pose or the three-legged dog version. All right, so take one of those if you prefer. If you want to try full pose, let's come on into a three-legged dog. Okay, so lifting and extending right leg up, open and close that hip a few times. And then just see if we can roll to the left side in a side plank. So left side of your foot, left hand. All right, lift up here. And then that right foot slowly drops down to your tiptoes. Inhale, exhale, press and lift. And slowly lower around, finding your downward facing dog again. Okay, take that on the second side. So let's lift and extend left leg up, rise to your right tiptoes, and let's slowly rotate the hip back and forth, bending the knee, open and close. Maybe this is where you're staying today, or maybe you'll take gate pose, slowly rotating around to the side. I'll show that other modification on this side where you go all the way down to your hip and then lift from here. And come all the way back around and take downward facing dog. Done with vinyasas. Take a couple breaths and then we'll come on into a pigeon pose, looking up at your hands. Right knee up toward right wrist, right toes toward left wrist. Settling into a nice outer hip stretch. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Maybe a block or maybe stacked fists to support your head. Couple breaths here. Last breath or so here. We're going to come around into the twist version of this pose. So just slowly lift your hands, walk them in, and then we'll rotate to that right hip and swing the left leg all the way around, left foot to the outside of right knee. Hug it in nice and tight here. Maybe bringing your left arm behind you for support. Gaze over that left shoulder. Let's gaze in front and slowly release that pose. Unwinding, tucking your left toes. Lift on up, find downward facing dog. Pedal the feet out. And we'll look up to our hands. Left knee up toward left wrist. Left toes toward right wrist. Pigeon pose, taking modifications if you need to, which usually is a block under this bent glute hip area here. Okay, some people put the block under the straight leg, so whatever is serving you best, go ahead and take that. Again, just being able to rest head and neck down is very relaxing, or helps you to relax that lower body. If that upper body can just be relaxed, you can focus on that lower body. Take a couple more breaths here. Okay, last breath here. Press into those hands, lift your chest up. We'll kind of rotate around to that left hip as you swing your right leg around to the outside of the left knee. Now, if it doesn't make it to the outside, you can plant it to the inside or wherever works for you. Lift your chest. Let's hug that left arm around right knee. Settle those glutes down. Right arm back behind you. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more breath here. Great job. Slowly release that pose. Coming into a hero pose next. So you might just want to give it a little shake. We're going to offer a one-legged hero to start with. If you prefer double hero, go ahead, take that, okay? I'm just swinging to my left hip, hurdling my right foot back behind me. Kind of moving my calf out of the way a little bit and settling both hips down. Okay, so for hero today, I wanted to add some arms on, and I'm just going to turn around so that you can see what I'm doing with my arms here. So just bringing your left arm up by your ear, and then your right arm around your back. You might find a bind here. If not, then we just grab our strap, left arm up by your ear, bend it, and then right arm grabs the strap, and we just kind of work our fingertips together right here. Just a little gentle arm stretch, what we're looking for. Take 3 or 4 more breaths here in this pose with the arms. And then maybe with arms still bound, you can bow over that straight leg a little bit. And we'll slowly release that side. Roll to the side of your left hip. Bring your right leg out, give it a little shake. Roll to your right hip, hurdle that left leg back behind you. Move the calf out of the way, settle in. Now the modification, I should show modifications on the first side, sorry. If you need to, block under straight leg, just causing your left leg to be in less of a bend, okay? You can also pad up the area with any knees or blankets that might feel good. Okay, taking that bind on the other side, I know I need a strap on this side, so right arm lifts, right hand back toward that big bone at the base of your spine, left arm back behind you. Find your best bind here, take a breath or two. And then bow over that straight leg if you can with the bind. Coming out if you need to, breathing in if you can. Great job. Last breath here. Let's exhale, release that pose. Coming into hands and knees, so just rolling forward, actually finding downward facing dog for a breath or so here. Let's just move any props to the side that we've been using. We're taking an inversion practice now, so no pressure. I'm not even asking you to go all the way up into an inversion. If you know that you're like close and you want to try it, you're welcome to pivot toward a wall. I'm just going to go over the prep poses with you today for this. So bringing elbows down, we mark our elbows by binding right here. So this is how far apart we want to be in this bound headstand. Then bring your hands back out and take that bind by making a basket with your hands. So we're like in this position on the mat. Okay, the top of the head comes down, and then we bind our fingers around our head. Okay, from here, just take a few moments to just press the floor away and relax. Press the floor away and relax. And also notice that you can lift your head up and down. Okay, so we want to be pressing the floor away, pressing your head up away as the weight comes down to the head and neck, not just letting it collapse. All right, from here, tuck your toes, lift your hips, and then we walk into a really tight downward facing dog. Okay, this will be most people's stop. Most people's down dogs will be out here where their hips aren't lifted over their shoulders. And so to find an inversion from back here is really hard. If they can, we'll work hamstring flexibility until hips are over shoulders. And then from here, we just find this is our prep pose. Pressing the floor away, lifting one toe at a time, then maybe eventually finding a little bit of air time there. Okay, no big deal if we don't get here today. No forcing, no pressure. Find your down dog again if you've been lifting, and walk back, finding knees and lowering into a child's pose. Take a good solid 5 or 6 breaths here in your child's pose. Begin walking out of this, making your way onto your back for a nice twist. Okay, coming onto your back, hugging those knees in. All right, coming into happy baby first, knees down toward your armpits. We'll grab behind knees, around our ankles, or outside edges of feet. Now, if you're clear down here like this, let's see if we can lift those feet up and work more of this angle, just releasing that lower back. Okay, just gently rock side to side. Soles of the feet together in a reclining butterfly for a moment. Taking one of my favorite twists. It starts with a pigeon, so let's bring our feet down and take your right shin just above your left knee, and then hug that knee into your chest. A brief reclining pigeon here. And then we'll take our left hand and reach it over the top of that right foot. Excuse me, let's take right hand, reach it over the top of right foot, and guide it down. Oh, gosh darn it, I was right on the first side. Sorry about that. Left hand outside of right foot, and just slowly guide it down to the left. So again, pardon my confusion. Left hand, right foot, guide it down to the left. That's what happens when I make a last minute change in my class plans. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, float that right arm out to the right. Gazing over, just a nice outer hip stretch, side body. One more breath here. And then we'll rotate onto the back and release that side. We'll do better on second side. Here we go. Left shin just above right knee. Pull it in for that reclining pigeon binding. And then when you're ready, let's guide that left foot down to the right. So we're just taking our right hand and just slowly guiding it down to the right. Left arm flares out, look to the left. Take another breath here. And relax and release on your back. Plant your feet, bend your knees. Find the very outer edges of your mat and then gently bring your knees together. Maybe resting hands on your belly. Then whenever you're ready, begin straightening legs out. Finding the very outer edges of your mat is usually a good spot. Arms down by your sides, palms up. Lift the shoulder blades up, place them down again. Relax the body. Just really enjoy this next minute or so, or just letting the body relax into the mat, letting the mind float off. If you can stay longer, pause it right here. If not, join me for the next 5 or so breaths here. If you're ready to come out, let's begin by pointing our toes, reaching your arms high above your head, lengthen out, and then roll to your side in the fetal position for a few breaths. Slowly press up and begin making your way back to a seated position, nice and slow, easy pose, hands to your heart. One final closing breath, big long inhale. And exhale. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.